Good.
Good
Welcome, Hot
afternoon.
Talkers,
Hi.
where we shed light on an
Yes.
area of knowledge into an area of ignorance. I don't know if that sounded right.
We obtain knowledge
We obtain knowledge, yeah.
in
Sorry, I'm nervous,
areas
guys.
of ignorance.
Yep.
So did you welcome the hot talkers in the building?
Welcome to the co-hosts that I have right here today. My beautiful family, my beautiful sister on the left side of me, and my beautiful mother on second of my left, and then my father on the far left.
Why I'm not beautiful. You didn't say my beautiful.
Wow, handsome.
Just sorry about if you heard the previous side. I wasn't sure because we were just trying to check and decipher whether the dogs and the barking could be picked up.
But if you can hear the dogs, just know that they're very friendly. Don't worry, they don't bite.
And they don't bite us. They don't bite us, guys. They bite you, but they don't bite us. Yep.
So let us know if you guys can hear us clearly on the live. I know that last week we had a bit of a technical difficulty with the sound, but we know that God is even in this.
Yep.
So true.
So guys, we have a juicy episode today. We're in episode 2 of our talks. I'm actually very excited about this one. You guys can shout. You guys can click your fingers.
Click, click, click.
Click, click, click. So we are in episode 2 of Hot Talks, and we're gonna talk about a very juicy topic. I'm just gonna put the topic out there. And the topic is: can broken people be used?
Wow.
So, yeah, let that marinate, because people need to know that we are all broken, including myself, including us as a family. That no one is perfect. That's what the Bible says. Everyone falls short from the glory of God. That clearly indicates that no one's perfect. So I'm just gonna go with it, and then you guys can come in, obviously. So in order to decipher if broken people can be used, we need to understand how the term broken can be defined. So this is how I see it, and Dr. Miles Monroe actually said it in this way. He says, anything contradicting the original purpose for its creation, that is defined as broken or unnatural.
Wow.
So I'm gonna let that matter. I don't know if you guys have a comment on that. You guys can comment, or what your definition of broken means, whether it's personal or whether you Googled something. You guys can go ahead.
I have this thing that I Googled, but I'm also, I know of this term called Kinukuro. So Kinukuro is actually a company of a very good mentor of mine. And she always explains the beauty of this. So this is a Japanese art. So it's literally a pottery of broken pieces that gets put together. So it says, according to Google, it says,
Just speak in the mic, please, Mom.
Kinukuro is a golden joinery, also known as Kinukuro, which is a Japanese art of preparing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with irusi.
Ooh.
Wow.
Is this Japanese words I'm saying? Liquor dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The method is similar to maki technique. And if you go into it and you just look at the picture, so beautiful to repair with gold. It looks like you know, on a map where you see the rivers on a map. So this is what it's brought together, and whether they are gluing it together, I don't know, but it's bringing it and to enhance this beautiful gold mapping
Of
broken pieces. So this whole thing comes together, and it's so beautiful because you cannot not see which pieces was broken.
Wow.
That's good.
Because the gold outline shows whether this piece was a small piece or whether it was a big piece was broken off. And so I just found this to be so fitting to share this afternoon.
I'm going to be honest with you. Google's always the first place I go to when someone asks to define something.
Is it not the Bible?
Wow.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I say define, as an example now, brokenness
Okay.
in the Bible. I say that on Google. I mean, it's still isn't it still consulting God?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think everyone does that. If you don't do that, you're trying to be fake.
Truly,
For
Yep.
sure.
truly.
Exactly.
So
We don't do
brokenness from Google, being so crushed by the sin and darkness of the world that we recognize there's no place to turn to but God.
Was
And
it Google?
That was Google, yeah.
Okay.
It's anointed Google.
Wow.
Minister Google.
Google.
Anointed.
Bishop.
Bishop
Bishop Google.
My thing is that defining it like this, I think it's quite fitting.
Mm.
Because if God made us perfect, with no flaws, no sin, nothing, would we turn to Him?
Wow.
I mean, that's a question I ask myself. And then I'm thinking that God doesn't lead us to do sin.
Yeah.
He allows Satan to tempt us, and He gives us the choice of whether we want to do it or not.
Wow. Clip that.
That needs to go. That needs to go on a reel.
Facts.
That needs to go on a reel.
Facts.
So,
Act real. I'm lost. I don't know about you.
facts is like something we say if
No,
something is true.
I know facts, but I mean like clip.
Clip
Clip
it.
that.
Clip it. It's like a paper clip.
Nah, clip it
like
as
a-
in make it the short video so people can.
Okay.
The first
Want
thing
to
in
watch
my mind
Get that message.
is a paper clip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course, Mom.
Mine is money clip.
Mommy is clip because she loves work. Paper clip, of course.
Stationery.
So yeah, that's basically. I don't know if that fits the
Wow.
episode.
That is so good.
For me, brokenness is obviously not in its state that it has been designed to be or created to be.
Wow.
So I don't believe that God creates broken things,
No.
Yeah,
but we are born into a broken world
for sure.
Wow.
because of the fall of in the Garden of Eden and continuous sin, and hence that's the reason why Jesus came to fulfill something that is missing. So if a puzzle piece is missing, it doesn't mean it's broken, but it's incomplete.
Yes.
Yep.
So the picture that the puzzle is supposed to
Wow.
to portray is broken. The puzzle itself is not broken. The puzzle, all the pieces are fixed, but the picture is broken.
Wow.
So that is to define brokenness is something that if I created this microphone or cell phone or iPad or whatever the case may be, it is only broken when a part of it is not functioning correctly, or a part of it is missing, or a part of it is cracked, or then it is broken. So that is why, and I think one of you said that is why we are so reliant on Christ and on God,
Yep.
because He's the originator of who we are.
Yes.
Wow.
So He has the peace, or He knows what peace is missing.
Yes.
We only find out when we rely on Him.
That's
Wow.
true.
Clip
So
that as well.
If you are broken, you can only be fixed. You can only get the original part. For the car guys, the OEM part is the original part. Not because God does not work with pirate parts
Generic.
Wow.
or
That is
generic
crazy.
parts.
Yeah.
He's
That's
the
deep.
only one who sits with the original part
Yes.
in order to fix whatever is broken. So that's my thing of brokenness.
Wow. So
And
basically, sorry.
And I think that we were listening to something of Miles Monroe, that you won't take a BMW car if it's broken. You won't take it to a Mercedes.
No.
So why do we think we can fix our own brokenness and take it to different
Own
things?
mechanics.
The clubs, the
Yeah.
smoking and drinking. Why do we think that's gonna fall?
No
why do you think?
judgment. No judgment.
No,
No
but
judgment at all.
why do we think that that's gonna?
Fix
We
the
run.
broken part.
We run away from the Creator.
Wow.
We run away from the
For
very
real
thing.
manufacturer that made us.
We run away from the very thing that
That's
can
good.
Exactly.
fix our brokenness.
I have
Hold
to
on.
just say,
Clip that.
clip
you
that.
need to clip this. When you said pirate, the first thing that came to my mind is pirate copies of movies.
I can't laugh because I don't know what that is.
DVDs.
No DVD.
Pirate
Wow.
copies.
We can't say we didn't do it.
Wow.
But I mean, if you think about it, that's the first thing, guys. I need to share that because that came to my mind like a flash. Pirate.
Is there anybody in the chat that's listening that knows exactly what back in the day when you had a song? So you guys download stuff today, or we download stuff on iTunes or Spotify, just to give clarity for the younger crew. back in the day, you would get someone would have the original CD, they buy the CD, and then you can automatically save it into a playlist on your computer.
Okay.
But then you also had a CD that, or a CD writer back in the day. If you had a CD writer, you
You
were
were very
rich
quiet.
and you were quiet. So CD writer basically.
Did you have one, Mom?
No,
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't ever see the writer. Did I?
your sister used to write songs for the people at work where we used to work, where we met actually. But by the way, anyway, so you have a CD writer, and then it's called burning a CD. Remember?
Yes, burning.
And then you take the songs of a particular album. So you had people that had thousands and thousands of songs. And then you write, like, they'll only tell you, you can only, depending on how long the song is, between 14 and 16 songs on the
Yes.
CD. And you'd select a song and they'll put it. So that is
And also, if you had a road trip, they'll burn your CD with your favorite
Oh,
tunes.
your favorite
Okay,
tunes, road trip
okay,
tunes.
okay.
And you mark the CD for
You
road
write it
trip,
with a cokie.
work, or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Okay.
We just
Sorry about that.
resent them.
Yeah, recent.
Okay, sorry guys.
Nothing to do with brokenness.
Yeah, we can talk about brokenness in a second. So, and I'm posing a question that's just out there. How does people from the broken state like get whole? I'm just put it out there. I'm gonna let that marinate for everyone that's listening.
Die is een groot braaibak van alles meer.
No, it must marinate because like that's also a question that I
Yeah.
struggled answering myself. Because like, how does a broken person like me like get whole? That someone that would please God when He looks at me.
Wow.
That's a good question.
That's
and,
good.
And like the answer I came up with, or so something I came up with just like as a sub question is like people like, and this is what I like imagine, like how does people want to be whole from the broken state if they don't know what whole looks like?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's just something that I was thinking about. Like, how does someone know that they're broken when they've never seen anything whole
So true.
physically?
Mm.
And how would you know you need to be made whole if you haven't realized or acknowledged the brokenness within yourself?
That's what I'm trying to say, ultimately.
Because it's one thing to be broken, but it's another thing to acknowledge your brokenness.
Sure.
Because
True.
these times that I was broken, still broken, but being put together.
Mm.
Kinukuro.
Yes. And it was until that time that I acknowledged that I was broken, because sometimes we in denial
Yes,
of our
Sure.
brokenness.
True.
that's true.
Like, we're so in denial that we're actually blinded by what's actually killing us
But
slowly.
is it embarrassing to acknowledge that there's brokenness within inside of you?
I don't think it's embarrassing. I just think it's like it's condemning. Because like
You always think like, what's other people gonna think
what
about
other
you?
people gonna think, but also you put up a image of yourself in
Yeah.
different aspects and areas of your life. For example, like you put up an image of yourself at work. You put up an image of yourself at the house. And I'm not saying you being fake. I'm saying you are professional at work, and
Yeah.
you in your private life you're more comfortable. You have your shoes off. So what you do in your private life, obviously, it's condemning in a sense where you let people from, for example, your work area into your private area. So I don't think it's the embarrassment. I think it's just it's condemning you. Like obviously, you don't want people outside to know what's happening inside.
So who's condemning who? You condemning yourself?
I think you're condemning yourself.
I think and I agree with you 100%. I think, so to take me as an example, so I was addicted to drugs, drug addict, for those of you that don't know. So that was a missing for me in my own illusion, believed. So when you do it, you don't, when you find something in life that you think is going to put you together, that the thought is not that. No one thinks when the first hit you take, or the first puff you take, or whatever it is, you don't think this is going to take when you take it, you don't think this is going to take my brokenness away. Because that's not the root. What you're doing is only the symptom.
Sure.
So I understand when I don't know, I don't have something yet to light a cigarette or whatever form of addiction it is. So when you light it, you're not thinking the first time, or you're gonna hit or whatever you're gonna do, like this is gonna fix my brokenness. No, you are either trying to impress someone, you are either trying to fit in, you are either have an obscured view of what you're going to do is going to make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So you need to backtrack that to why you find yourself with this crowd of people.
Wow.
Wow.
Why you find yourself at the dealer's house. You need to backtrack that.
Only a symptom.
It's only the symptom. So we act out, and when people look at you and they say you are a drug addict because you're a broken person, they are right, but they don't know what they're talking about because sometimes you don't even know what you're talking
That's
about.
right.
Exactly.
That's good.
So like, and it's so true what my dad just said. Like, when you are hitting a blunt or whether you are lighting a cigarette,
Correct.
it's not because I'm fixing my brokenness. It's oftentimes because you're looking for peace, and peace is only a symptom of a broken problem.
Or maybe looking for answers.
You're looking for answers, or maybe you're escaping your brokenness by doing like
Seeking for
seek-
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Because I think we were watching a movie the other day, Jesus Revolution, and it's basically about like this hippie culture where they're seeking for truths, like by taking drugs so they could
feel a certain way.
feel a certain way too, because in their mind that's how they get themselves open to God. Anyway, and their movies on Netflix. But
Shout
like
out to Netflix.
Yeah, shout out to Netflix, everyone.
Yeah, Netflix.
that they're actually putting on some Christian movies for
Which is
us.
so
Lovely.
nice.
Thank you.
We love them.
Thank you, Netflix.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Netflix.
But let's just resend it quickly.
Yeah, please.
Sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry that I sound so demanding, but if we don't recenter, we go over tangent.
Absolutely.
100%.
So
Yes.
can, before you go on, can you explain to the viewers what recenter means?
So
So if you do this, you know what that means.
yes, so we do this, guys. When you just bring it back to the center, we mean that our conversation must be cut short so that we don't go off a tangent.
Divulge.
100%.
Divulge. Yeah. So anyway, in this movie, there's two people, they're a couple. They seek truth, but they're seeking it in all the wrong areas.
And that's basically the society today.
Yeah.
That they're seeking for peace and things, but they're searching it in all the wrong area, and they end up actually. Because I was looking for peace and affirmation in the wrong places,
Oh,
and you actually run away from God.
Yes.
You run away from the very thing that can give you that.
And oftentimes we think like we're not running from God when we're just affirming ourselves, but sometimes affirmation is not breaking the next person down. Because I know, like, we talk about confidence, but we actually exercising pride,
That's right.
Wow.
and that's also a symptom of brokenness. And we have something on our fridge. I don't know if you guys can. I don't think you guys can see it, but
No,
it
we
says
can't.
inferiority and superiority. Nothing pleases God.
Neither.
Yes.
Neither
Neither.
pleases God. Sorry.
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
so we need
Nothing?
wow. So
Neither of it pleases God.
Neither
So
pleases
whether
God.
you think less of yourself or think higher of yourself
Yeah.
doesn't please God.
whether you feel arrogant or whether you feel inferior, neither pleases
neither
God.
pleases
And
God.
I wanted to say that that we need to find the balance. And I think as Christians or as believers that we need to find the balance in everything. We
Yeah.
can't have too much of something and we can't have too little of something.
So I agree with you. So that's so true. And the sense of brokenness is within everybody. So like I said, I used to I've been a drug addict. Oh, I've been a drug addict.
You been there?
Been there.
Did you been there? So I still find out today, 15 years, 16 years later, that was also a trigger why I made decisions that night on Boys Drive to take my first hit. and continuously doing it, getting myself into a spiral that I could not, without the grace of God, could not have done by myself.
Yep.
But broken pieces is only rectified when you acknowledge it.
That's right.
Sure.
Because I'm just thinking now, when you were speaking about that, would you say that in life we would tend to nurse the symptom but not the root?
100%.
Then you'll find yourself right back where you started.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I can say this because I'm the dad, number one. But I mean, I can say this, like, we all sit here that have done stupid things that
For sure.
we are embarrassed about
Oh, yes.
because we know. So when you lack something, you know it is a lack.
Yes.
Yep.
So my dad, and we open on humble, open, and transparent here. So
Yep.
my dad, he preaches about this, that if he could turn back the time today, he would go with me to the cricket field. Now, I felt a certain way when there wasn't time in his schedule in order for me to pursue a game or a sport that I loved,
With interest.
or an interest that I was interested in. It made me feel a certain way when I was young,
Yes.
but I didn't take note of it.
Yes.
But as a whole person,
Yeah.
it took something away from me, leaving me broken. Right. So I go through life not thinking about the cricket, not thinking about the rejection in inverted commas,
Yeah.
not thinking about those things. I make decisions around what I believe within me, that society teaches me, that social media teaches me today, that podcast teaches me today, that Facebook, Instagram, everything else we use, that teaches me today that in order for that one hole of rejection, as an example, to be filled, is going to be sex, is going to be drugs,
Self-care.
is self-care, self-love, self-preservation.
Do
More
like self-glorification.
yeah,
Wow.
pride, all these things, wearing the best khakis and clothes.
You're the
will
most important person.
in to you, yeah. But so we build. So when you realize afterward that I'm Lord, I am broken. You as the original parts holder of me, reveal to me. Now here's the thing, in all honesty, that we are not, can I tell you that I'm not going to talk for anybody else. I am so broken. God can't give all my pieces simultaneously. I will not be able to handle it.
Because you swallow the pieces. That's how big the hole is.
Or lose the
Exactly.
pieces.
You'll lose the pieces along the way. So,
exactly.
but the speed
Yeah.
depends on me.
Intentionality, the intentionality of wanting
Like,
to
look, I'm
be
broken.
Yeah.
whole.
Then he tells you to fix something.
That's
he
right.
uses someone else.
He uses the iron sharpening iron.
He uses someone else to tell you, to tell, like, there's the piece.
Yeah.
But often we don't want to pick. The thing is, we don't want to pick up the piece.
Yes.
And I just feel like this
It's
is
very
something.
brave of you,
Yeah.
babes.
And I feel like this is also something I need to say, that, speaking now from my dad's drug story, like, it's a story that we hear like many times, because he's very open about it.
Yep.
Well, both my parents are very open about what they did in the past and things that they regret.
Yep.
But a few months back, like, the Holy Spirit just revealed something to me, and I was like just thinking about that now, like with this drug story as an example, with my dad's drug story. Him not dealing with his brokenness had a negative effect on people that was around him.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean?
That had nothing to do with
It didn't have
Are you
anything
sure?
to do with me.
Mm.
And I mean, if you would allow me to share
Of
this,
course.
that a few months, I think it was a few weeks ago, a few months ago, I was in a church service.
Wait. What are you going to say? I'll go over and play. Go.
I was in a church service and I felt like I was like laying everything before God, and I'm like, Lord, I need you just to fix my brokenness. And that's why I said it's so important to acknowledge that you're broken in order to be healed.
Yes.
And I was in the church service, and the Holy Spirit told me that you've been carrying this grudge towards your father. And I'm like,
Bruh.
what?
What
What
grudge?
grudge?
What grudge?
You know, when the
Bruh,
Holy Spirit
what?
tells you something and you're like, what are you talking about? But deep inside, you're like,
You know.
What are you talking
That's
from?
true.
That's a question, like, what are you talking from?
yeah. And then I went to my dad and I'm like, I hold the grudge towards you because when you told us about the drug story, and like my dad's very open, so he shared that while my mom was actually pregnant with me in the hospital, he stole money out of my mom's purse to go buy substances. And then I was like thinking about that day, and I'm like, obviously I can't remember it, but like the way it made me feel that,
idea.
I mean, you didn't love me enough to like not go to the drug den, you know what I mean? And and when I shared this with him, like he started crying, and I'm like, like that saying that just freed me already.
And healed the healing
Exactly.
process.
Yeah.
And
But-
after saying that, the Holy Spirit reminded me of something I did in my past. And then I shared it with him, and I'm like, this is why I did it, because we always have a choice. But I'm like, this is what I did, and I think it has something to do with our relationship.
Wow.
And it takes work after that.
Yeah,
It takes
sure.
work.
The thing is, and just to what to respond to you, with me creating an atmosphere and a platform for you to be open to say that this is what you feel, and this is often it is your circle, your community is very important.
Very important.
So with you telling me that this is a part of you that is broken, that you didn't ask to be in, because our brokenness affects others around
That's
us.
right.
Yep.
As much as that healed you or a part of you, it healed a part of me too.
Oh wow. Beautiful.
So
Sure.
when we start acknowledging
That's right.
our brokenness to one another in areas that had affected people that they didn't ask for it,
Yes.
it's not only you that finds healing
That's wonderful.
and putting togetherness.
People around
It
you.
is the person that is on the receiving end and the person that's on the giving end. So honor to you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Wow. So I think we touched on it already. My next question would have been not
Two
topic.
topics.
Sorry,
Point.
not topic. My next point would have been
Point.
like how important is vulnerability in your healing?
Sure.
And I think we all touched
We
on
just
something.
touched on
For
that.
sure.
But like vulnerability is like a huge part and a huge obstacle. I would call it the obstacle because it's not everyone is it's not easy to everyone.
No, for sure. And I think it's easier to be honest with others, but it's not easy to be honest with yourself.
Yourself,
The same
true.
way, and I've seen this so many times in my life. It's easy for people to ask for forgiveness for hurting you, but it's not easy for that person to forgive themselves.
True.
And I think that is the biggest part is why do we hold so much, why do we think so much about ourselves that we think that if God can forgive us, we can't forgive ourselves? I mean, who made us that way? You know what I'm saying? And so we can be honest to other people, but when it comes to being honest with ourselves, why is that so hard though?
Yeah. The only thing that comes to my mind is shame and condemnation. And that's actually a huge stronghold. Like doing the sin and apologizing to the next person is one thing. But like apologizing to yourself and fighting that battle in your mind, that's a whole different story. Because like when I was addicted to pornography, and I would tell the next person, because I have no problem being transparent and letting you into my space. But the battle that I have to fight in my mind,
Yes.
that's the hardest battle you can fight.
I think also it's because we think we're not capable of doing something. And that is why when we do it, we can almost forgive ourselves because we can't even believe that we did it. But I think when you actually grow in the knowledge and the fact that we are born into a sinful world, we're born into a broken, fallen world, that we are broken even before we say, and we're broken already. And that is the thing because if we understand that concept, then we'll understand the flesh and we'll understand the spirit. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's what the Bible says. And so if we understand the characteristics and the nature of the spirit and the flesh, we will then work through things easier. I'm not saying very easy, but easier. But we always beat ourselves up because we expect or think that we weren't capable of doing it. So how could we?
Yeah.
How could we? And I think that's what we always ask ourselves the question, how could we?
The thing is, and the how could we always comes after the fact.
After
Oh,
it
yes.
becomes
When
so
you're
late.
in the situation, so now I don't know who all's watching, but when you do look at the rebroadcast or listen to this podcast,
Yes.
you would know. So people that let me come back to myself. People that are on drugs, you always tell yourself that you've got this under control.
Yes.
You are broke as hell. You are so deep down that you can't go a day without any substance.
Thin as a rake.
You are thin as a rake. You are crazy. You doing crazy
And
things.
you know it all.
You stealing. You
And you have a
taking
poon
stuff.
haircut.
Yeah, and you got the small.
And you know it all.
And you know everything.
And you have gold teeth. Dentures,
And-
my head. Not your real teeth.
So you have all these things going in the in the same breath, and you're telling yourself that if I really want to stop, I can stop tomorrow. Guy, no, you can't.
True.
You can't. It is a decision that you have to make and acknowledge. I've got a problem.
Yep.
Now again, I'm not quiet. I'm not cool. I'm not none of that. I had a tremendous support structure, of which one of the main ones is, first and foremost, I have to give honor to God.
Yes.
And then secondly, to my beautiful wife that has stood this test of time through all withdrawals and everything. So I had not had a single day of rehabilitation in my life. I was on drugs about for 3-4 years, but full-blown drugs. Relapsed in our marriage. I think about 2-3 years into our marriage. That is the time when Caitlin was born. But God has been faithful.
So true.
But again, the brokenness it is only broken and can be fixed when you reflect back and say,
That's right.
I actually can't do this.
Yeah.
I cannot do this. I have a problem. I have a massive problem.
Yeah.
And have the community to say, like, right now,
For sure.
I feel like taking 50 hits until I want to be so high that I can't get high anymore. And those are experiences that I've experienced.
That's right.
That you are actually nauseous of all the amount of drugs in your system that you don't want anymore. You're so high, you can't get high anymore.
But I think that you also get healed when you actually we honest you. And I remember during that time in our lives, my community was also very strong. Although you were quite embarrassed of your community, you're embarrassed to reveal things to your community. But the community is the people that's going to hold up your hands and rub your back and pray for you, you know. And say it's going to be okay, even when your acts has actually hurt them too.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I want to give honor to my father-in-law, because I remember that at that moment, I really didn't have much hope. And I think looking at you as his son, he also felt hopeless. But I remember this one, and I'll never forget, it was outside the house. He said, before you make a decision what you're going to do, just go and see this pastor that he suggested that was in the area. And today he's not with us anymore. That pastor's not with us anymore. But that pastor really gave us so much great advice, because all he said was, he had a meeting with us and he said, the next couple of days he wants to see Craig alone. And I was nursing Caitlin at home. And then he said he wanted to see me. And the moment he said that, he said to Craig, well, we had a good couple of days together, but you are going to, this woman, this thing she assumed, but she hasn't placed the moment with that puzzle piece yet. And she's going to ask you, if you want to work on this marriage, she's going to ask you random times of the day and night, and you need to be okay with answering her as and when she wants it to be answered. And I can say honor to him, honor to my father, but honor to Craig. Above all, honor to God, but honor to Craig, because he was prepared. He was prepared to be asked questions. Even when he was sleeping, I would wake up and say, what happened that day? And so why I'm mentioning that is to give honor to, it needs to be intentional from your part to want to get whole within yourself. Get whole for those that loves you around you. But overall, get whole because you know that Jesus came to give his life and life more abundantly, because he came for the brokenhearted. And so in that moment, we can accept and receive the blessing and the forgiveness of God, because we know that's why God sent his son.
That's beautiful.
So, in saying that, and in closing, how can one deal with a brokenness shortly? Just simple steps, simple practical steps that they can do to deal with a brokenness.
I'll give the first point.
Yep.
Acknowledgement and repentance.
And then leave the spirit of offense, because offense will keep you out of the gates of freedom.
True.
Wow.
Let the spirit of offense go.
Don't couple feelings.
Reel that quickly.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Yep, that.
Clip that.
No offense needed, yo. And I feel like, just before we end, I feel like offense is the breeding ground
Sure.
to
Many things.
damage. Because like one thing to be broken, but when you're damaged due to offense, bro, that's
I
a
think
different story.
And you're right. You are so right when you say that offense is it is that one fueling tool
Mm.
that takes your brokenness and deflects it
Yeah.
instead of reflect it.
Mm.
So you can only know that you must. For those of you that pluck your eyebrows, you know that you must a hair or it's not the alignment is out when you reflect.
Yes.
Mm.
But when someone tell you that your alignment of your eyebrows is out and you don't reflect and you deflect, it breaks. What happens then? You now have a grudge
Bro,
and your alignment is out.
That's
that's
right.
crazy.
So instead of inflicting one way and correcting with reflection,
Yep.
offense allows you to deflect it
Sure.
because offense is never ever given. It is
Always
taken.
taken.
So yeah.
So we're actually running on a time of 35 minutes. So I hope this podcast really helped you in your personal life
And get
in
real
your
with
spiritual life.
another one, Cameron. Get real with your community.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
Jesus didn't journey alone. He needed he did 12, but he had 3 closest. Get a community.
Community is very
Yeah,
important.
and even in James, the Bible literally says, confess your sins to one another,
another.
then you will be healed.
That's
and you'll be
right.
healed.
So you delivered, yes, you delivered.
Instantly. But the healing,
Takes
It's a
time.
process.
it's a process.
And how are we going to get healed? Healing often takes place through other people.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And you must also be careful with who you share
That's
your
right.
brokenness
That's
with.
good.
Mm.
And
That's
the
right.
last thing that we need to understand, accountability is key.
Yes.
You're through.
Accountability is key. Find someone that you are accountable to.
That's right.
And that is accountable to you. Say like,
Mm.
look, that's a broken part of you. You're not completely in it. You need to get it right.
Yes.
Or you had enough time to sort yourself out.
Because
So
the brokenness will
accountability.
obscure your vision.
100%.
Mm. Yeah. And I think we're going to have another episode on accountability coming soon. But
Yeah.
just to touch on accountability, guys, I still don't have a phone not because I can't be trusted,
Mm.
Yeah.
because my flesh can't be trusted.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
so
good.
just let's be hot. Let
Yeah.
the hot moment come on me.
Yeah.
Flame.
I am feeling a bit sweaty.
Mm.
So yeah, so let that out. Guys, I don't have a phone because my flesh can't be trusted.
Yeah.
And I think that's
And I think that's also got to do
that's
with accountability.
That's right.
100%.
Because it's one thing like to be delivered from pornography, but who says I'm not gonna be tempted again?
That's
Mm.
right.
So
Sure.
if you take the distraction away, you can only focus on one thing, and that's God.
That's right.
So in closing, it's 37 minutes. You want to share something short?
So can broken people still be used by God?
Of course they
course.
can.
Of course they can, man.
Look at us. We were broken and
We're
we still
broken.
broken areas.
We're
but
broken, bruised, beat up.
But you
but
will come
look
with
at
the
God,
blood of the
man.
Lamb and the word of our testimony.
Okay, God. So thank
And
you
also,
so
before we go, you spoke about gold teeth or whatever. Can we just recenter that? That is a private joke we make with Craig. Because Craig, when I met Craig, he had a gold tooth and he had
Mhm.
yellow hair
and a
and a
poon.
big eye puffs.
And a poon.
And a what?
And a prison break cut.
So that's a private joke. It wasn't directed to anyone that's viewing.
No, instead, it's
it
my
was
father.
It was a private joke for him.
Yep.
100%.
So yes, thank you guys for watching.
Stop. No offense taken.
Yeah.
We-
Yes.
We never gave it no offense.
Hot talkers, don't take offense.
Don't take offense. Thank you
Don't-
guys so much for
Don't couple
watching.
feelings. We love you.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for
Please
tuning
follow
in.
us on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe to us on Spotify where you can listen only to the audio if
Yeah.
you maybe want to gym or whatever.
One last thing.
One last
Can
thing.
we just give, or the three of us just give honor to the visionary right here, and just say thank you so much for this vision.
Minister
We
Cameron.
love you and
Thank
we
you so
support
much,
you.
man.
And can we just give God all the glory for
Thank
everything?
you.
And then to
Amen.
Pastor Mike,
Pastor
who
Mike.
demonstrated this acronym to us: hot, humble, open, and transparent.
Transparent.
Thank you so much, honor to
We
you,
love you,
Pastor.
Pastor.
Thank you,
Mike.
Transformation Church.
We love you guys
Love
so
you guys.
much. Thank you for joining us on the spot today. Thank you for
love
sitting
you.
with us. Thank you for listening to
Thank
our,
you.
We're gonna
Thank you.
play-
our dirty laundry stories.
And we're
Because
gonna
we overcome with the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
Okay, and then
Thank
just
you
to all
so
our guys
much.
that's on live, on our live, on Candace's
Yes.
live, and please
Yep.
go like and subscribe so we get a notification when
Yes.
when we go live again.
Yep.
So we'll continue to go live on Candace's page and tag in
now.
on hot talks.
Yep.
But we love, honor, and we really
But
love
you inevitably want to go alive on those pages.
100%.
So
Okay,
So we will
so
be-
we just want to
sorry.
acknowledge the people
Sorry, before we acknowledge the people, we will be posting 2 times a month. So
twice a month.
twice.
Two
times?
times.
Twice is nice.
Wow.
twice a month. Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Caitlin, who was online?
So Candice Schefter, her again. Stan Samai, thank you so much, Uncle Stan,
Thank
for your
you.
appreciation. I'm gonna just give honor to him quickly because he came
Wow.
here
Yes.
before we went live on After Worship. He was here
Yep.
quickly just to help us with the
Him and
sound.
his family.
Yes, so
and his
honor
whole
to you and
family.
your family. Thank you so much for,
Thank you for your
for
time.
sacrificing your time.
Thank you so much for honoring
Nikki
you.
Storm, Jacob, CJ Roberts, hello CJ, Louise, Joyful Venting. Hello to
Yeah,
Louise.
hey.
Louise.
Louise.
Louise, joyful.
Louise clinks with adult as well.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay, I
I see her. She
see.
was watching.
Uncle Fagan,
Egronet.
Yes.
Yolan, is it Yolan?
Abida,
Ursula, is it Ursula?
Mariam,
Yeah.
Big shout out to Lauren Henry as well. Fagan's wife.
Chantal.
So thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you
Okay,
so
Craig
much.
Titus.
For those we didn't get,
And Marco Titus as well. Marco
Okay.
is nice. And Preston
Rob.
S. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for tuning.
Wow. Guys, thank you for all the love you're showing on this podcast. We
Yeah.
really do appreciate it as a family. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, this is not about us. This podcast is not
yeah,
for self-glorification. It's purely just to
Reach
help
as well,
someone
yeah.
else
Yeah.
in need, whether
Yes.
it's spiritually, whether it's physically, and whether it's
Beautiful.
financially, whether it's
Emotionally.
relationally as well,
Psychologically.
psychologically as well. So, yeah.
so we thank you guys. We're just gonna play the intro for you,
Yep.
and we're gonna leave.
We're gonna
Love you
leave.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Hot Talks.